it's been almost 2 years in the making, but the NRCS makes its long-awaited return for the Daytona 500. The 2023 season is going to bring a lot of interesting things. This is the second year of the next gen, and we're going to have to see what this car can bring to the table today. Here in Daytona, let's set it down for the command for the race.
For the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
The engines have roared to life here in Daytona. The cars start to roll off. We'll be right back for your starting lineup. While the field paces the track, let's take a look at your starting lineup. On the pole is Bubba Wallace alongside Chase Elliott. Row 2, you'll find Chris Buescher and Martin Truex Jr. Then in row 3, Ty Dillon and Travis Pastrana. Then in row 4, we have the 12 of Ryan Blaney and the 5 of Kyle Larson. In row 5, you've got the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, full-time now in the Cup Series, and Eric Almirola. Then Jimmy Johnson making his long-awaited return to NASCAR with Kyle Busch. Then Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick in his final season. And then Chandler Smith and Daniel Suarez. Behind them, you have William Byron and Justin Haley, then Ross Chastain and Chase Briscoe. Behind them, you have Zane Smith subbing for Cody Ware and BJ McLeod. Then you have Noah Gragson and the 7 of Corey LaJoie Gregson in his first full-time season. Then you have JJ Yeley in the 15 and the 2 of Austin Cindric. Behind them, Todd Gilliland and Ryan Preece making his return to the Cup Series. Austin Hill and Tyler Reddick now moved over to 23XI. Then Austin Dillon and probably the greatest super speedway racer ever, Denny Hamlin. Behind them, Ricky Stenhouse in the 47 and Eric Jones in the 43. Then Ty Gibbs and Harrison Burton, Michael McDowell and Alex Bowman make up the second to last row. And then Christopher Bell and Joey Logano conclude this 40-car field for the 2023 NRCS Daytona 500. Let's take a look at your race facts. It's going to be 10 laps, 40 cars. Bubba's on the pole and he chooses the outside. The 91 and the 50 missed this race. And Tim Hill's the defending winner as the pace car pulls on the pit lane. Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, and we're green in the NRCS Season 2 Daytona 500. You can hear the crowd as Chase Elliott took the lead here in Daytona. A flyby the field that's already been 3 wide throughout. Here only on lap 2 down the back straight. Chris Buescher to the outside, side by side for the lead. Buescher help from Truex, and Elliott has help from Ty Dillon on the inside. So they're side by side off of turn 4. Truex with Buescher up top. Now they come down to the middle line as we're on board Truex. Side by side, Bubba Wallace and Travis Pastrana leading that outside line. As you see some Toyotas who started near the back. As all Truex is around, flipping, hard hit. And multiple other cars are around, and the caution is out. I see Travis Pastrana, Bubba Wallace, Ty Dillon in there as well. A huge crash on the back straightaway. Let's take a look at the replay. So it looks like, oh man, I think Bubba Wallace just hit him in the right rear. Just, these cars are so inconsistent sometimes with the pushing if you don't hit it perfectly. So he turned him into Ty Dillon. Look at that, a full flip onto his roof and then flips back over. Look at the damage on that thing. A big crash there. Let's take a look at your damage report. Truex is going to be out of the race, but everyone else, Bubba Wallace, Pastrana, Dillon, their damage wasn't too severe. They can fix that easily and be back in the race. Big crash here early on in Daytona. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be right back for the restart.
Crash in turn number 2. David Rudiman hard And in the contact made. Bell goes around. They're going to see for the first time. Chase Elliott winning the Monster Energy Cup Series.
The NASCAR Community Cup Series is Watsonville International, Sunday, August 20, 2:30 Eastern on the Landline Cup Series channel.
Anybody got any requests?
Yeah. Please stop.
The field is ready to get back to racing here with 5 to go. On lap 6 out of 10, Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher lead us to the line, so we're back green. Elliott gets the jump out into turn 1. Chris Buescher side by side. As old Ryan Blaney gives him a big push, the two-car tandems we've seen on and off here in this next-gen era. But it doesn't last for long as it starts to break apart here. Here comes Chase Elliott, the crowd to his feet as Elliott gets through Buescher and Blaney to the race lead once again. 4 to go now in Daytona. Elliott's going to slide down to the bottom to pick up Larson instead of Jimmy Johnson as they come down the back straightaway. Almirola is going to work with Johnson on that outside line. Into 3 and 4. Elliott getting good pushes from Kyle Larson as well as AJ Allmendinger on board with Elliott now as we take 3 to go in Daytona. Jimmy Johnson trying to lead that outside lane on a charge. The intensity is picking up here in Daytona as business is picking up as they know they are running out of time. Down the back straightaway. Elliott continues to lead. Look at the Rodco Customs fan cams here in turns 3 and 4 and then at the front straightaway. Elliott leads. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. Larson continuing to give good pushes. Johnson, he needs to get something materialized here as they come to the white flag. Here he comes. A good run down the back straightaway. Oh, he's going to get turned into the field. A huge crash down the back straightaway. And the caution is back out. The big one strikes in Daytona. What happened here is it looks like another bad push here. It looks like it was Harvick who hooked Almirola, who hooked Jimmy Johnson. As you see, Almirola slides up, hits Johnson in the right rear, sends him down into the field. A big crash here in Daytona. Let's take a look at it one more time. Man, a hard crash. As the red flag is displayed. As look at that damage report. There was at least 15 or so cars taken out in that one. As, man, some big names had a really good chance of winning. Lose it right near the end of the race. And there's some underdogs as well in the form of Chris Buescher. AJ Allmendinger was up there. Justin Haley was more mid-pack and then got caught up in. But, man, Hendrick's luck on the super speedways does not seem to ever get any better. They always seem to be up there, but then they end up getting wrecked. The big one strikes in Daytona. We'll be back for an overtime restart in Daytona. Some of these drivers are about to experience the biggest restart of their life in overtime. Chandler Smith, Austin Cindric, BJ McLeod, green flag, Reddick came from the outside line. You are allowed to do that as they're 3 wide behind the top 2. Chandler Smith and BJ McLeod lead the field down the back straightaway. It is 3 wide throughout the rest of the field coming to the white flag. This might be the biggest lap. Oh, Cody Ware's in the wall. Biggest lap ever for Chandler Smith. Jones through the infield. McLeod's going to the inside. And he's going to get turned. Chandler Smith gets turned into Tyler Reddick, and they wreck behind him. BJ McLeod got through, and that might just be for the win, as there's a big crash in turns 1 and 2. I see 8 cars down there, including a bunch of Joe Gibbs Toyotas, as it is BJ McLeod is going to pick up his first ever win for the 78 team in Live Fast Motorsports. See here the replay. Cody Ware got hit, Eric Jones got hit, and you're going to see right here Chandler Smith just tried to block. BJ McLeod wasn't lifting, and man, Chandler Smith, heartbreak, almost won the Daytona 500 in one of his first starts in the Cup Series. But BJ McLeod will get to celebrate here with a nice burnout as a Daytona 500 champion. BJ McLeod wins here in Daytona. Let's take a look at your finishing results. BJ McLeod's going to pick up the win. Ricky Stenhouse second. Ross Chastain third. Austin Hill fourth. McDowell, Dillon, Gregson, Logano, Pastrana, Gill in the top 10. And Bubba Wallace, Balicki, Briscoe, Byron, Burton, Jones, LaJoy, Bowman, Zane Smith, Cindric, the top 20. Then Chandler Smith, Reddick, Hamlin, Bell, Priest, Gibbs, J.J. Yaley, Elliott, Johnson, Larson make up the top 30. Then Almirola, Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, Harvick, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Keselowski, Suarez, Haley, and Martin Truex Jr. Here's your point system and how the playoffs are going to work. You can see the points at the top. There's some bonuses for laps you lead and how many laps you lead for a pole. There is no playoff points, but to decide the playoffs, the top 8 drivers in points after race 7 make the playoffs. Then the bottom 4 after those next 2 races will be eliminated, and then the top 4 will race for the championship in race 10. As you see your point standings after the first race, a lot of ties as some people did lead laps after an amazing race in Daytona. You see now through 32nd, still a long way to go. This is only race 1, as it's going to be interesting to see who can get back into the title fight as this season goes on here. And the 9 races to come in season 2 of the NRCS, as that's going to do it here in Daytona. Next race is coming from Martinsville, and the field will be expanded to 43 cars as we have the 42 that tried to make the race here. We have one more new entry, which I'll announce at a later date. Hope you guys enjoyed. The NRCS is back, baby. I hope to have races out once every couple of weeks. And that's all I had to say, guys. This is Rodker Racing, signing off.